Okay, so we're watching television, and then all of a sudden we say, we'd like to watch Google TV. Now, why would you want to watch Google TV? Well, there are really just a few basic reasons that you might want to use Google TV. Number one, to see something that's not on cable. Number two, to find things more easily that may be on cable or on other sources. And number three, to use apps that help you combine information and video and audio from various sources. And that's really what Google TV is all about. And it's super simple. I hit the home button on my Google TV control here, and we see the main navigation bar down at the bottom. We see up at the top a few apps that I've loaded into Google TV, which runs Google's Android operating system, the Honeycomb version 3.1. And you see that we have all apps highlighted, and that's pretty much how it starts up by default. So, we can do any number of things here. We can look at our apps. We could go back and look at live television if we want, just doing like that. Or we can go look at other things such as the movie guide. We can look at Netflix listings. We can look at videos on YouTube, go to Android Market, or look at our Chrome browser, or look across various content sets via search. So, let's start first of all with the movie guide, TV and movie guide, which is kind of handy. You have three things that you can look at. You can see what's on TV if you want. You can look for live television. You can look for TV shows that you can download for viewing, generally for a premium price, and you can go look for movies. Right now, because my cable service, Cablevision, does not allow Google TV to load their program guide, it's basically a useless feature. It's all technologically set up for it, but they simply don't send Google TV the information. It's a competitive thing. But if you have a cable service that does interact with Google TV, then you'll get all the current live TV listings there. Kind of a pain, but that's just the way it is for that particular feature. What's fun though is that you can go out there, and there are many popular television shows that you can go find, and if you want, you can go down there and download episodes of various popular television programs. And it's the various categories that you would typically find for that sort of entertainment. For movies, I think it's especially fun because what you have in the movies is an aggregated listing of various movies that are relatively current run movies and archives as well. And it kind of acts like a Google search, if you will, on top of all the video entertainment that's available in various sources. So for example, if we wanted to go out and see the movie The Hangover, and it was interesting us and we hit the rent button there, notice that it will allow us to go out there and rent it either on Amazon.com or YouTube. So there are different ways to access it. And if we do the Amazon.com experience, we could click on that, and it's going to go out to the Amazon website, and we'd run it pretty much the way that we would from the web. The YouTube experience is a lot more integrated, as you'd expect. And if there's content from Netflix, that would also be available here. So all your premium content for video movies is available through one search interface that in its overall look and feel is kind of like Netflix, where it aggregates content, and you can turn on some options that allow you to personalize it to your own particular viewing preferences. So if there's certain sorts of movies that you like, not unlike Netflix, it'll help you kind of tune it. So it's a super feature if you're really interested in finding movies and trying to figure out where's the best place to buy it from. So that's the TV and movie guide that we just saw. Netflix works pretty much the way that you would expect it to. If you're a Netflix subscriber, you can go there, and the app has been updated a little bit for 3.1 Android here, but works essentially the same. It's a little bit stripped down and simplified. You get your instant queue, recently watched, and so on, all the categories, and a search function up top. It's nice and clean, and Netflix is still fun. So if you like Netflix and you're not interested in searching across other content sources, then that's very nicely integrated into Google TV now. YouTube is kind of fun. In the old version of Google TV, you had something called YouTube Leanback. In the old version of Google TV, you had a feature called YouTube Leanback, which was layered on top of YouTube in the browser to create an app-like environment. But it wasn't 100% smooth. Now in Google TV 3.1, you get a separate app for YouTube, and it has a lot of the features that YouTube Leanback had before, but it's done much more smoothly. You have featured YouTube content, which basically replicates what you might see in terms of the featured content if you went to youtube.com. You have My YouTube, which provides categories of content that you might be queuing up either from your phone or from your browser on your PC or Mac or what have you. And then in a separate channel you have your subscriptions. And I like especially what they've done with subscriptions. All these features work pretty much the same in YouTube once you select a particular content set. But what's nice about subscriptions is that you can go to a particular collection of content, and the latest episodes are going to be right there on top, and you can choose your individual subscriptions pretty much the way that you would an individual channel. And it's very simple to choose a specific show that you might want to be taking a look at. And if you want, it's easy to kind of skip along to other episodes that are available on that particular channel. So if we want, we can go down a ways here and get past the funny sorts of shows about animals in this particular series and see a wildlife video that's a little bit more low-key, if that happens to be what we're interested in. So YouTube works really nice. It's a lot of fun to use, but it's one of many apps that are available on Google TV. For example, if we were to go over to the All Apps page here, you can load up various apps that are prepared for Google TV consumption. For example, here's Al Jazeera. They have a very nice channel that has not only full screen video, but archives and other sorts of categories of video that you can tune into. So that's a very handy news channel that is available. There are lots of other apps available, however, as you can see. This is just kind of a taste of apps that are available. Some of them are kind of carryovers from the earlier service, but you also get things like the Big Picture from the Boston Globe, which is a beautiful picture album, and you have various picture albums that you can choose from, and that's a really fun app that you can download. There are quite a few that are available, and we'll take a look at Android Market here in a little bit. You'll also see that in addition to Pandora that's available, we also have Google Music that's available, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. And Google Photos, which is an upgraded version of the Gallery application that used to be in Google TV and other Android platforms, is available as well. What used to be called Q on Google TV is now called Podcasts. Works almost exactly the same way that it did before. And if you want to go to some specific collections of podcasts, video podcasts, and audio podcasts as well, you can do that on the podcast function. You can also upload games from the Android market. Twitter's available, and other applications are available too. And so this is just kind of a smattering of the sorts of things that are available on the All Apps page there, if you're interested in that. You'll also notice that the Android market is now available, so you can actually buy or download applications right here on Google TV from the Android market. And as you can see, most of them are free at this point, the ones that are fully compatible with Google TV. Now, there was a little bit of a sneeze when I got the initial upload of the new release. Google Music was not available for installation at first. There was a parameter in the settings that I had to set, but that was quickly adjusted, And I don't expect that'll be too much of a problem moving forward. It was probably just kind of an oversight in the initial release package, and it downloaded just fine once that was parameter was taken care of. You can get some widgets loaded onto your home screen here. Not too many widgets comparable to what you can have on an Android phone, but you do have widgets so far for things like Pandora and Google Music. So if you want, you can have music that's queued up from one of those services and start playing it when you would like. And you know, begin to turn your television, if you have a nice audio system connected to it like this particular unit does, into a nice place to play your songs here. And as you can see, it's really easy to control. So this is, I think, a huge improvement to be able to have apps with widgets like this on the home page, because you can just hit the home button on Google TV and be able to control specific things really quickly if you want to shift between audio and video. Very seamlessly done, and generally it turns off the audio when you switch to the video and vice versa pretty smoothly, but just in case there's a little bit of a sync issue where you want to switch from one audio channel to another, makes it super simple and clean. We also have notifications that are available over here on the left. As you're downloading apps and things of that sort, you'll get notifications, and you'll also get basically discography of music that's been playing on your apps as well, and it's easy to clear those out from your display once you get rolling there. There's also the browser. This is, after all, a Google appliance, so you would expect that there would be a browser around. And of course, you can get the Google Chrome browser available on Google TV. And by default, I have it go to my home page on Google, which is their search page. This is one of the few places that you really use the touchpad and the mouse click, is when you're in the browser. You can use them other places in Google TV, but by and large, the up arrow, down arrow, side arrow, OK navigation, plus the video controls and the settings control are pretty much all you need to navigate. So it's really a much cleaner implementation of getting from here to there that you used to have in the other Google TV, where it was a little bit of a mishmash of controls. So if you wanted to, you can still go out there and get individual web pages, and there is a function that you may be familiar with called Chrome to Phone, where you can be in a Google Chrome browser and it'll kick you out a web page onto your phone from your PC that you're looking at in a Chrome browser. You can use the same application to kick something that you're looking at on your PC up to your television. So any Chrome browser equipped with Chrome to Phone can push content out from the browser up to Google TV. And there is finally the universal search function here, where you could be looking for something across various sources, and go out there and look for something like William Shatner. And see various collections of content that are available. You saw that that came back really quickly. Google's very good at instant search as one of its features. So there we can go and we could see web content if we want, but we can also find specific content that William Shatner is associated with. You know, he's in both movies and television, so you can find different things if you want to do some research on him, or just to find content that relates to him if you're in a William Shatner kind of mood. And of course, there's search like that integrated into some of these other services. So that's a quick overview of Google TV, and I'll be back later on probably when I get into some more of the details of this and some quick tips and tricks as to how to get most out of Google TV.